Hi, everybody. Dr. Cynthia Mayo here. Long time no see, but it's great to be with you today. I wanted to remind you that our scripture is 3 John 2. Beloved, I pray that in every way and in all things that you may succeed and prosper and be in good health physically, just as I know your soul prospers spiritually. So, I want to talk about our young people today, with teenagers. Um, It's been on my heart for quite some time. And my niece, um, apostle in training, Mr. Tasha Pyle, she likewise has been addressing the needs of the young people emotionally, spiritually, naturally, things that they need. And I love that she's doing that because that's something that's very much needed. We tend to overlook our kids a lot in life and in church. And this month, I usually keep track of what the um, points of interest are for the month. And this month of November, on the 21st, it was Children's Grief Awareness Day. Now, Awareness Day. Are we aware that our children are depressed? Are we aware that they experience fear? Are we aware that our children have anxiety? And here's the big one. Are we aware that our children are having suicidal thoughts? And some, unfortunately, homicidal thoughts. I would challenge us today, from church to home to work, to think about our awareness of how our young people feel, our awareness of how the elderly feel, our awareness of how the caregiver feels, our awareness of how pastors feel, how medical staff feel, first responders feel. Today, I want to focus on the kids. When I saw that, when it specifically said grief awareness, you think our children don't grieve? Have you ever seen a child when they lost a pet? Yeah, they grieve. I remember when my son was little, we got him goldfish and it kept dying. Finally, he said, Mom, I don't want any more goldfish. Then I got him a little tiny, I think it was a hamster, a gerbil, might have been a gerbil. And no, it was a hamster, one of the two. And it died. And he had named it Hammy. So we gave Hammy a funeral, and he was very upset. He grieved the loss of his fish, his goldfish, and little Hammy, Hammy hamster. That's what it was. And so our children do experience grief at the loss of maybe a family member that they love dearly, like a grandmother or grandfather, or a favorite aunt. And they also get depressed. Yes, they do. And because of the things that are taking place on a, unfortunately, all too common event is school shootings. I tell my kids all the time, I remember we used to walk to and from school. It was a group of us. It was like a gang, what they call a gang now. It was just a bunch of kids leaving school trying to get home or going to school trying not to get hit by the cars on the way because we had to cross streets. But we all stuck together. I think there were only two of us. It was lad. We lived across from each other, but we still stuck together coming home. And so it's different today. When kids go to school, I'm talking about kindergarten, middle school, and elementary, and even college as well. When they go, think about it. What are they feeling? Are they thinking about, I'm going, but will I go home? Will I make it home? What if somebody comes in and my teacher is injured, or a classmate or my close friend? These are things at the kindergarten and elementary. These kids should not have to be worrying about that. School used to be a safe space, but not anymore. And so I want you to be prayerful about how to sit down and talk with your kids about where they're, I call it headspace. What's going on up here? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What is bothering you? Is there anything that's disturbing you right now? And don't be afraid to ask. There's a commercial that comes on, and there's a young guy, and they were talking with him like, how do you feel? He said, like, how do you feel? What do you need? I think it was one of the questions. He said, I just need somebody to listen to me. And I think that is a very good starting point. Do you listen? Do you ever ask the question and then listen for the answer? They don't want you to solve the problem. They just want you to hear what they have to say. And so that is extremely important. If you look at the ministry of Jesus, when he met the woman at the well, he said, I'm thirsty. And so she began with this whole litany of things, and he listened. He listened. I don't think he responded very often. He didn't interrupt her. The guy was sitting by the pool Sloan for a long time, and he just asked one question. And he went into all of these. Well, I've been here for a long time. I'm waiting for somebody to put me in before I can get in. But he listened. He listened. When these three guys were stoning this woman and dragged her to the front, and Jesus said, oh, she's this kind of woman, and da 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 da. He listened to what they said. And when he got done with what he said, they disappeared. And then he spoke gently to the woman that was dragged at it and thrown at his feet. But Jesus listened, and we need to learn to be better at listening and not just hearing them talk. Like, I've got music playing in the background. I can hear it, but I'm not like directly listening to it. I could have a TV on. I may be in a room doing something else. I'm not listening to it, but I do hear it as background noise. And with so many things going on, there's a lot of background noise for the kids. And it's distracting, it's annoying, it makes them fearful. Every time they hear about another school shooting, imagine how your kid would feel, how your teenager would feel, your high schooler. And unfortunately now, the rate of suicide with young people has increased dramatically. Substance abuse, alcoholism. They're acting out at home, angry. And it's not really anger, it's anxiety, it's fear. Excuse me, but they're not sure. They don't know if you're going to listen to them because you talk to them all the time. Tell them, do your homework, do your chores, make sure you come home by such and such a time. Don't go to this person's house. But have you stopped to listen? Have you stopped to ask them, how you doing today? What's going on with you? Not just, how was school today? No. How'd you make it through today? Where's your headspace? And take time to listen. Just listen. Just listen. Pastors, always gotta get on y'all about something. But think about these same children are in your church and their parents, and sometimes grandparents. Are you thinking about how or what the needs of the children, of the young people in church, what are their needs? Do your leaders and your teachers know them well enough to kind of see if something's off? Do they understand that it's not a sin to talk to them about fear and anxiety? Your church leaders, your ministers, have you begin to equip them and talk with them and share with them how to counsel the people that come for prayer, or someone you just might see walking around and catches your eye? Have you taught them how to listen? To listen. Have you taught them how to counsel the people? Because in case you did not know, there are church leaders, pastors, and your congregation. And believe it or not, they get depressed, they feel sad, they feel anxious, stressed. And from a physical standpoint, as an adult, stress overworks your heart. Don't breathe properly. Your mind is cluttered. It may even reflect itself in the environment that they live in. Their environment, like right now, my office is a little bit cluttered because I'm cleaning up, but I'm getting my house in order. That's something the Lord had told me. So slowly but surely, I'm going through things. I cleaned out my closet. But do they know how to counsel? If you have a counseling ministry, you're one of the very few that do. But make sure they're not forgetting to ask simple questions. Don't ask them if they're reading the Bible. Don't ask them if they're praying. Don't ask them if they come to church all the time. No, 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 not right now. Not right now. Ask them, how have you been lately? Is there anything, or are there any things that you want to talk about? Create a safe space for your congregation to receive counseling. Create a safe space for your young people to be counseled. Make sure your teachers are aware of facial expressions, body language, answers that they give to questions. It's a lot. It's a lot. I tell my daughter sometimes it's difficult for me to, well, it's not difficult. I don't mean to say difficult, but listening to, and I don't listen to news all the time because it gets on my nerves because they're saying the same thing over and over again. But it can be a little depressing to think, God, why again we have to deal with this? But nothing happens without purpose. But we also need to understand beginning and end, there's middle. And we'll have to work the middle with wisdom, not emotions, not feelings. We have to work the middle with wisdom. That's why we need to be prepared to help our people, help our children. Please be on the lookout for unusual behavior, parents. It may be that they're not a child to talk back, talk smack to you, but they may be going through something if they're snapping and saying things they don't normally say and act in certain ways. It could be anxiety and they don't know how to say it. So it's important that you ask. It's more important now than ever that you hug your child, kiss your child, and tell your child that you love them. They need to know this. And also, Grandma, praying for you. Grandpa, praying for you. And let them know, people are praying for your age group, for your generation. But listen to them. I love that story of the woman at the well. And Jesus said, I'm thirsty. And off she goes. Her mind is racing. I'm a woman. I'm an outcast. I'm not married. What I got to name my husband. This man is talking to me. It's taboo. You don't just do that. But he listened. Different people he encountered along his lifespan. He would ask him, do you want to be made whole? Well, Jesus, I've been sitting here for a long time and waiting for somebody to put me in the way. He listened. He didn't pass judgment. Oh, you shouldn't be saying all that stuff. I'm here now and I'm going to do this. No, he listened. And then finally he said, well, you want to be healed? Sure. He had changed, but he was like, you listen to me. You allowed me space. We need to allow our children and our young people space, safe space to talk. That's what they need. Even if you have a toddler in kindergarten or preschool, still give them space because they're hearing about certain things, maybe not from the news, but from other students, in their class. And that can be very disheartening. If you're a kindergartner or in pre-kindergarten, that can be very disturbing. You're not mentally, emotionally, or physically mature to handle what they're saying. So it's very important that at a young age you learn to listen to your children. And middle school, I think, is a very stress because you're at that in between. They're in between. And so, yes, very important. And your teenager is maybe driving. It's even more important than ever that you take time to share with them, to listen to them. Give them that space in your day. We talk about, oh, we need to spend time with God. You need to spend time with your children too. Okay, I'll blink on that one. They do not need a sermon, 3 points in a poem. They need to be heard. They need to be heard. My kids are grown and I still create safe space for them. And listen, I don't care how silly they are or off the wall they are, I still spend time. I invest time in listening, not in talking. I invest time in listening to them. So I encourage you to do the same as well. Again, pastors, prepare your congregation. Look and see if you may have people that are counselors or psychologists or some type of therapist. Make them aware that, okay, I need you to help educate and train. If there's no one there, or if you're not comfortable doing that, then look outside of your ministry. There are places you can check into that will train. They'll take your people that you have prayed about and you feel would work well with this. They will train your people. There are programs. Take time, invest time, designate someone to find where the training is. Okay. And I don't care if Sister Sally Sue said, oh, yes, the pastor, I counsel all the time. Sit and listen to her for a little bit. Then you'll know whether she's going to be the one that you want to put in this particular ministry or not. Just because you want to does not mean that you can. Okay? All right. And with your young people, same thing. Um, it's great if you can get young folk as well that can help you in this area. Okay? So just be mindful, be mindful, be mindful, be mindful. Pastors, please don't forget you're adults. And even sometimes you're senior citizens. Oh, please excuse me. They're not senior citizens. They're mature adults. They're the elders of your church because they have a certain wisdom that they bring. Please be careful and mindful to listen to them. There are lessons that you can learn from them. Guess what? They have been there, seen that, done that with discrimination, civil rights, Jim Crow. And there's a wisdom that they can offer you as to how to help this generation cope with this. Okay? How to work through it, how to live through it. Okay? So do not forget your mature people, your elders that have walked the walk. Okay? And your congregation in general. Do not poo-poo or dismiss how they may be feeling. You may have people in your congregation that are suicidal, homicidal, depressed, sad, melancholy, a little bit off center right now. Do not poo-poo them and tell them you shouldn't not feel this way because you're a child of God. Share a story. Last year, with the election outcome, our pastor, Pastor Jay, Jay Patrick at Liberation Church, and I will never forget this because I was like, this is truly an awesome pastor. Before he started his sermon, he ever so sweetly came out and acknowledged that although the outcome was not what we wanted, God is still in control. He's like, I understand how you feel. Do you know how much that meant? It meant a lot to me because I have been in another church where they would tell us, you won't have to worry about God is still in control. But he took time before the message to acknowledge the feelings of his people, those that God had given him, uh, charged him to watch over. And he did not neglect, he did not poo poo, he did not dismiss. He acknowledged, I understand you may be feeling a certain way, but it's going to be okay. that meant a lot to not only me, but a lot of other people. So let's be mindful. Let's listen. But please, 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 in your church, make sure that the kids have access to counseling. Create safe space. Safe space. Have people that are appropriately trained. Okay? Same thing with your adults. Have a safe space for them. All right? And remind those that are counseling, you don't have to talk. Sometimes you just got to listen. And that's all I have for you today. Um, just be mindful. Be mindful. And remember 3 John 2. God wants you to flourish. He wants you to prosper physically, mentally, in every way. So until next time, y'all be blessed. And I'll be talking with you again soon. All right. Bye bye, everybody.